Hey everybody, welcome to Trad Archery 101. Greg here. Alright, this week we're talking about the string, the thing that powers the arrow. Alright, now in this series about how to get started, we covered what is traditional archery. We gave it a definition so we can move forward from there. Then we covered bow terminology, the longbow, and the recurve. And now we're here. Alright, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at the string itself and its different components. Alright everybody, the different parts of a string. First thing you have obviously is the string itself. Then located in the center of the string, usually of a different color, it's what's called the serving. Alright, the serving protects the string from the wear of the arrow nock. Then on the end of the string, you're going to find two loops. One's larger than the other. Alright, the large one normally goes on the top limb and the lower one should go on the bottom limb. Now, on certain type of strings, which we'll get to in a second, you'll find serving material on the loops. This is called loop padding. Right? It's mainly on what they call an endless string. Now, the next thing you're going to find is in that center serving, right there, you'll find the nocking point or the nock set. Now, it's not mandatory, but it's a huge help in consistency, and it ensures consistent nocking of the arrow on the string. The nocking point can be made from metal, serving material, dental floss, rubber bands, and a whole bunch more. So up next we're going to talk about some terms you need to know. In archery, like anything else, you're going to learn different terminology. And there are some that pertain to the string. And the first one is the word creep. Now, in layman's term is stretch. Creep is a non-recoverable elongation of the string. In plain language, it stretches, and that's why people just say it stretches, right? Why is this important? Well, for this thing here called brace height, which we'll get to in a second, if you have a string made out of Dacron or some other materials, over time they'll stretch. So your brace height will actually lower. And it's a quite easy fix, but something you need to be aware of. Now, the next thing you're going to learn is the word twist. People are going to say, hey, how many twists are in your string? What they're referring to is how you adjust the length of a string. So I've got a string here. If I twist one end of it, if I twist one way, the string will shorten. If I twist the other to a point, it will lengthen. And that's how you adjust. The next one we're going to talk about is brace height. Right? Brace height is the distance from the deepest part of the grip to the string. Now you can use a tape measure. You can buy one of these called a bull square, or a T, I'm sorry. And all you do is pop it on there like that. Some people go like this. There's all different ways. But what you measure is from here to here is your brace height. And what does brace height do? It does affect performance slightly, but the main purpose is to reduce vibration and noise, to make the bow a little more comfortable for you to shoot and quieter. Up next, we're going to talk about the type of strings. There are three types of strings in traditional archery, but you only need to be concerned with two. First one's called an endless loop, and the other one's called a Flemish. This here is an endless loop, and it's easily identifiable by how easy it is to part the different strands of the string. In a Flemish, the strings are twisted and it's much harder to come apart. Also, the ends. On an endless loop, you'll have that serving material, whereas in a Flemish, it does not. Right? Plus and minuses for both. This is preferred by competition archers. This is preferred by hardcore traditionalists and hunters. They're both fine. It's just what you want to use. The third string, which I'll just pass on real quick, is what's called a Boyer's string. You can see it has the loop here, but in this end, there's no loop. And that's for making bows, so you can make the string of whatever length you want. So there you have it. Three types of strings. Endless loop, Flemish, and a Boyer's. Now, string materials, the next thing we got to talk about. String material can be made up of many things, from Dacron, Flash Fight, HMPE. Historical archers use linen, hemp, sinew, just to name a few. And they all have their own different properties. And just as a beginner, remember we're keeping everything focused on beginner, it's so easy to get lost in all the details and finalities of it. But today we're going to cover the two basic ones. Now we're going to take all those different names, we're going to lump them into two. We're not going to do the historical, we're not going to do linen, sinew and all that. What we're going to cover is what's called dacron and fast flight. Here we have the two types of strings. Now these are very generality. Remember, beginners, this is all you need to know. You have two types of string, dacron and fast flight. A dacron string, it will stretch. It can be used on all bows. It has a less efficient transfer of energy, which means lower arrow speeds, but not by much. And generally it produces less hand shock. Now fast flight, it does not stretch. It can only be used with bows with proper tip protection. If you're using it on an older bow, believe it or not, this string will actually saw its way through your limbs and ruin your bow. It has a more efficient transfer of energy, which equals higher speeds. And roughly it's an average between 4 and 5 feet per second. And on average, it tends to produce more hand shock. So let's look at the two, right? You're going to see right here, it's hard to tell, but they do look very different when you look. This has a drier, more natural look. Fast flight has a very shiny and synthetic look. So remember, when you're looking, you got to know what type your bow has. The safe choice is dacron. It can be used on all bows. Once you get better, then you can go to fast flight. Alright, so dacron strings are safe on all. Fast flight bows are not. This one produces lower speeds, higher speeds, less hand shock, a little bit more hand shock. The next thing you need to know is string length. Now, to a common person, string length would be how long the string is. No, it's archery, we got to make it complicated. So here's the easiest way. If your bow says it's AMO length, you're in good shape. AMO is the Archery Manufacturers Organization. And they set up a specific thing, a little mythology, for string length. And what it is, if you, let's say you have a 62-inch AMO bow. All you do is order a 62-inch AMO string. That's not the same, but how they do it, you label the string 62-inch for a 62-inch bow. Makes life real simple. But of course, it's archery, so it can't be. There's bowyers out there that don't go by the AMO standards. So they make it all different stuff. So how do you get a string for that? Well, there's a general rule. It's not the greatest, but it will work. If you have a long bow, you buy a string that's 2 to 3 inches shorter than your bow. If it's a recurve, it's 3 to 4 inches shorter than your bow. Up next, we're going to talk about taking care of your string, caring for it. First thing you want to do is wax your string. Waxing preserves the string and helps protect it. There's all types of wax, from natural, man-made. Now how often you do it, it's personal choice. What I'm going to tell you is the big thing is you don't let your string dry out, right? Just check it before every use. Now how do you wax it? It's pretty simple. This is my wax. You just rub it on there. How much? You'll know. Now wax has a low melting point, and all you do is rub your hand up and down on it, creating friction. It melts it in, and the string absorbs it. And that's how you do it. It's real simple. Now I want to talk about the biggest enemy to a string, and that's dirt. Especially down here on your nocks, right? Or your string notch. If you get dirt in there, that dirt dries and it'll start cutting away your string, and that can cause some serious problems. So always be aware of that. Try to keep your string as clean as possible. The next thing you're going to find is called fraying. Fraying mainly happens on Flemish twist, and they usually happen up here. It's not a biggie. You can just take a lighter and lightly melt it, or easier yet, string wax it back down. Alright? That's the easiest way. Alright everybody, there you have it. Quick overview of the string. Not a whole lot to it. Pretty simple, but vital that you take proper care of it. Now, I'm going to give you a couple of notes about the string that'll help you. It never hurts to talk to the string maker, right? If you're having a string made, talk to the person one-on-one. Let them know what bow you're using, what you're using it for, what you want from your bow performance-wise. The more they know, the better they can help you. And they can make the best recommendation for you because they're experts in their field. All right? That's it for today, everybody. Next week, we're going to talk about the arrow. All right? We're getting closer. We're going to put it all together. I'm going to tell you what type of bow I think you should get. And then in season 2, we're going to break it down. We're going to show you how to set it up, tune it, and shoot it. All right? So don't forget to check out my website right here where you'll find a complete listing, complete to me, of all the different 3D archery courses, and clubs located in the continental United States. You'll also find listing of archery festivals, competitions, competition bodies, product reviews, and targets by me, 3D Archery. Alright everybody, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time with an all-new episode of Getting Started in Traditional Archery on Trad Archery 101.